Hi everyone. Since the semester is coming to a close, I want to highlight some of the scientific concepts I've learned. I've learned so much about food and how it is created over this semester, so I'm so excited to share what I learned with you all. Today I'll be discussing the Maillard reaction, caramelization, dehydration, fermentation, pasteurization, leavening agents, aerating, beating, and creaming. I was first introduced to the Maillard reaction during the French fries unit. I had no idea what it was at first, but now I'm able to tell other people about it. So you know how fries start as potatoes, which are typically yellow or a pale color, but when you eat a French fry, it's golden brown on the outside? Well, that's due to the Maillard reaction. This is when the proteins and the carbohydrates in the food react due to heat, which cause the food to brown during the cooking process. Many people confuse this with caramelization, since both of them cause foods to brown. But in the cakes and cookies unit, we learned about caramelization in relation to cookies. Caramelization happens when the sugars in a food are heated, which causes the food to turn brown and change the flavor profile. While both caramelization and the Maillard reaction causes foods to brown, caramelization is related to the sugar in the food, while the Maillard reaction relates to the proteins and carbohydrates. Now, moving on to dehydration. In the beef jerky unit, we learned about dehydration. Dehydration is when water is removed from a food, causing it to dry out. So when beef is dehydrated, it turns into beef jerky since the water is removed. This also helps to preserve the shelf life since there is low water activity, which helps to prevent bacteria growth. Next, we have fermentation. We've discussed this process in many units, including food science around the world, bread, cheese, and the fermented foods unit. Fermentation is often referred to when we're talking about bread or beer, and it happens when yeast and other bacteria break down carbohydrates into alcohol, acids, or gases like carbon dioxide. In bread making, the fermentation process causes the dough to rise due to the production of carbon dioxide gas. But in beer, grains are fermented into alcohol. We have also discussed pasteurization many times. Pasteurization is when something is heated in order to kill or slow the growth of pathogens and bacteria. For example, when making cheese, milk is pasteurized in order to kill the bacteria so that it's safe to consume and can be used in the cheese-making process. In our last chapter about cakes and cookies, we learned about leavening agents, aerating, beating, and creaming. So leavening agents are ingredients that are used in order to make a baked product rise. So some examples are yeast, baking soda, and baking powder. Yeast is typically used as a leavening agent when making bread, and baking soda and baking powder are used when making things like cakes or cookies. Many people have a stand mixer in their kitchens, which can perform many tasks such as aerating, beating, and creaming. Aerating is when a mixture is whisked energetically in order to increase its volume. Beating is when a food is vigorously agitated in order to incorporate air or develop gluten. This is typically used when making cakes in order to make the batter airy. And the last thing is creaming. Creaming is when softened butter and sugar are mixed together in order to form small bubbles in the mixture. This process is used when making cookies so that they puff up in the oven. I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you can share what you learned with someone